I am Melissa Wood-Tepperberg, founder of Melissa Wood Health. I'm so excited to have you all here for a super spicy series. But the beauty of this practice is that it's all using your own body weight and really just to show the power of our own strength, and not just to strengthen our bodies, our minds. And here we are doing this beautiful practice at Grand Wailea. So let's all start standing. And just closing those eyes. Just drop your arms heavy to your side. Soft little bend in your knee and just mindfully coming back to your center. Big full grounding inhale through your nose. Really fill yourself up. And then slowly and easefully exhale. Let's let it go. Anything we're holding on to, really taking this time to be right here with ourselves. Taking your right hand to your belly and your left hand over your heart. Staying with your breath. And just coming back, breathing in whatever you need for today. Big grounding inhale. And then on the exhale, let's surrender. Just let everything else be. I always say, leave it at the door. I promise when we exit, it's all going to be there. Gently float, open those eyes, reach your arms overhead. Take a little side body stretch on each side, but work the hip almost like you're reaching the elbow into that hip. Through center, switching sides. And just coming up, squeezing heels together. So coming up on those toes, arms down, cover the heels. Try it. If they drop, that's okay. Squeezing heels, squeezing inner thighs. Inhale, reach, come up high on those toes, dropping halfway down. Holding it here at that highest point, and then opening knees, sinking down, hands to heart center. We're just gonna hold it here and pulse those knees in towards each other. They come about halfway, so just stay right there, but I want you to envision almost as if you're squeezing a ball between your inner thighs. Stay with that breath, long, tall spine, open up shoulders, beautiful posture, 5 and 1. 4, 3, 2, on 1, stand tall, come back. So keeping heels together, toes apart, open arms nice and wide, and then dive it forward, tucking chin in towards your chest, walking yourself out into a strong plank. So try to keep heels together, toes apart here. Soft bend in elbows, tipping forward an inch in your toes, and back an inch for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, breathe, stay with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Open knees nice and wide, sink your hips on your heels, and just melt into your mat. And a gentle little rock and sway, side by side with your spine. And just rolling through that spine, taking your toes to the ceiling, pubic bone to the back, gazing up to the ceiling. Just opening up your shoulders, like you're reaching your heart towards that ceiling. Exhale, press it back. And then just moving in a flow, a fluid motion. So take 2 more just like that. Awakening that spine, opening everything up. And then coming back now on all fours and just check your alignment. So your knees are underneath your hips, your palms are underneath your shoulders. Take that right leg back really long, and then left arm, like someone's stretching you in opposition, and then hug elbow and knee. Extend it long for 10, 9, 8, 7,
Squeeze that booty out the top. Stay soft in that breath. We need 5 more. 4, 3, when you hug elbow to knee, really crunching into those obliques. 2, on the last one, you guys, just hold it here, flip the palm. Pulsing the palm and the heel to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, leg is long, point those toes, 5 more, 4, 3, 2, on 1. So hold that leg high for the transition. Come down onto your forearms, press hands together, and then float that leg a little higher, point the toes. 20 little pulses. So we're lifting up an inch and down an inch for 20, 19, 18, 17, abdominals nice and engaged, 15 more, 14, 13, 12, see with that breath, breathing into these last 10. See if you can stretch that leg a little longer, point those toes, squeeze that knee. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. This one takes your booty up your back. Like I'm telling you, things really change. You're also working your full body here. So we hold that leg at the top. Extend those arms really long. So relax shoulders away from here. Float that leg a little higher. And then we're drawing little circles the size of an apple on that back wall for 10. 9, this is where things really start to change. 8, 7, 6, breathe. Stretch that leg even longer. Let's make every second of this time together count. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold it at the top. Breathe. Soften. Reverse for 10. You can do it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more, 4, 3, 2, on 1. So come back down on the forearms first, and then drop onto that left forearm and just open up the hip. Leg is still long, being lifted, and now reaching elbow to knee and extending long from this angle for 20. 19, really crunching into those right obliques. 17, 16, breathe. 15, 14, 13, 12, stretch the leg a little longer. 10 more, stay with the breath. 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Drop the leg down, press it back, pedal it out. So first we sculpt and we really strengthen, and now we are going to lengthen those muscles. So floating that right leg really high, point the toes, come up high on that left toe, and then reaching right knee into right elbow. Extend it back long, lifting high, crossing over, tapping it and touching it into that left elbow. Float it really high, and now take it slow, hugging knee to nose, breathe. And then I want you to drop it down, hover to the mat, lift it up, coming into the deep core muscles, drop it down. One more, just like that. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. So take a nice deep stretch here. Staying on the tips of your fingers, and then strengthen arms back long. Trying to lift your core off that thigh, and then coming up into a high lunge. Anchor belly button back to your spine. See if you can sink a little lower. Straighten both legs, pumping arms back, so really getting into the tricep as you take arms back for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, opening nice and wide into a warrior 2. So think here, nice deep inner thigh stretch. And then stretch the arms and relaxing shoulders down your back. Tip it back into a reverse warrior. Whoa! Sometimes that happens. If you feel like you're gonna fall, sometimes you just fall. And then we get back up. Taking your forearm to your thigh. It's the mirrors. Like, I don't have mirrors, my team. I like it, but like it threw me off. I was like, hey. Reaching arm overhead, really twisting through the spine. And then take that arm overhead. See if you can open a little bit deeper. Reaching arm forward a little bit more intentionally. Keep lower body there, tip it back. Straighten that front leg as you reach, and then slowly cartwheel palms down. So you can step back into a plank or take a 3-legged plank. Hold. Strong body, strong core. Hugging elbows in tight to the body. Moving through your upward facing dog. Take a breath. Gaze over that right shoulder. And then over that left. Drop knees to the mat, hips are high. And make this an active stretch, so keeping elbows lifted. Relax, softly. And breathe in. And then slowly, you can grab some water as we start to move into that left side. As it gets like spicy, right? And then coming back now on all fours and just check your alignment. So your knees are underneath your hips. Left leg back really long. And then reaching that right arm in opposition. So hug elbow to knee, but really create a C curve with this spine. Get deep into those abdominals. Stretch it long, give me 8 more. Reach. 7, so left leg, right arm, it's okay. 5. Happens to all of us. 4. Extend. 3. 2. Last one, hold it here. Flip the palm, pulsing palm and the heel for 10, 9, 8. Stretch a little longer for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Holding that leg through the transition. Coming down onto forearms, press palms together. So float the leg, point the toes, little pulses, lifting up an inch and down an inch for 20. 19, 18, staying with the breath. 17, 16, 15, 14. Stretch leg even longer, lifting up an inch, down an inch for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more. We're almost there-ish, not really, but 3. That was a full line. 2,
full circle.
1. Exactly. So now we extending arms long. So plug belly in strong through the center. Float the leg, little circles the size of an apple for 10. 9, really articulate that shape like you're literally drawing the circle with your big toe on the ceiling. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 10. 9, 8, staying with your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on one. So coming down onto forearms first. And then taking that right forearm parallel to the mat. Open up the left hip. Float the leg a little higher. Point the toes. Reach knee into elbow. Extend leg long for 20. 19. Crunching into those left obliques. 18. 17. 16. 15. Keep breathing. When it starts to feel like you want to stop, drop into that breath. 8 more. And I swear I tried to count while I talk. 7. You're like, just keep counting. 6. 5. Every word is a count. 4. 3. 2, give me 1 more all the way through. Finish really strong. Legs are long, press it back, pedal it out. Oh, and really alternating heels. So lifting that right heel high, anchor that left heel heavy. Dropping that right heel. Feel that deep release. And then coming up high on the toes, slowly just tipping forward into a plank, bending knees, hips go high. Taking 2 more just like that. Letting your breath really carry the movement. And then anchoring right heel heavy to the mat, float left leg really high. Tap left knee to left elbow. Extend it back really long, cross it over, tap it into the right. Float that leg high, hug knee to nose, hover it down to the mat, hugging back in 1 more, just like that, stay with me. And then slowly stepping your foot in between your hands. Just take a minute, adjusting here, taking a nice deep stretch, and then finding a strong center, taking arms straight back. Slowly coming up into a high lunge. So now we're cactusing the arms, straightening the legs, reaching arms up overhead for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, open everything nice and wide to your warrior 2. Sink, nice and low, deep inner thigh stretch, strong, energetic arms. And just settle into that breath right there. Tip it back into your reverse warrior. Slowly taking your forearm to your thigh, reaching right arm overhead. And just plugging belly in and just opening up that shoulder, gazing up through the arm to the ceiling. Slowing that breath down. Tipping back into a reverse warrior, straightening that front leg, really reaching that left arm back. Slowly cartwheeling palms down. Stepping back to a plank or a 3-legged plank, holding that there. Strong, strong core, hugging elbows in nice and tight, moving through your upward facing dog. And then dropping the left hip bone to the mat, gazing over the right shoulder. And then slowly dropping right hip bone to the mat, gazing over the left. Take knees nice and wide. Take a breath. Bringing in a little rock and sway. Peeling that right arm open. And then slowly just threading that arm through the left side body. And just slowing it down. And slowly taking that right arm back through center, peel that left arm open. Threading it through the right side body. Reaching those right fingertips forward.
And then slowly taking that left arm forward and then coming up. So staying on our knees and just hovering your hips just a few inches above your heels. Taking those arms really high, hugging that right elbow into the right hip and then moving that hip bone to meet the elbow and then just switching sides. So getting nice and deep into the waistline here. And then like you're really pulling something down. So bringing just a little bit more intention into the movements, breathe. Give me 5 more. 4, reaching it down. 3, 2, last one. Ooh. And then swinging those legs around, so coming into a seated position. Sit really tall with a long, beautiful spine and shoulders back. So always like every opportunity we can to open up our posture. A lot of us walk around like this and we're not even aware. So just bringing all these mindful components into our practice. So long spine to start and then slowly just tucking tailbone to pubic bone. So really locking in our lower abdominals. Reaching arms forward. You're gonna roll it down, lower back right where you get into middle back, and then open up the right arm to the side, and then take arms up as you come through center, roll it down. Open left arm. Coming up through center, reaching. And I want you to act as if almost like you're reaching for something. Like, what is that thing? There's always something, right, that we feel really called to do or become. So bringing, reaching. Give me 5 more, just like that. Reaching as high as you can. 4, 3, 2, last one more each side. And then holding it here. Take your left leg into tabletop and then your right. So take it slow. If you want to grab behind, do whatever feels good for you. And we're just slowly going to drop halfway down and then come up, but we can take legs long, heels together, toes apart. Drop it down. Challenge yourself. See how far you can take it. Give me 2 more. Legs long, heels together, toes apart, or just grabbing behind the thighs. And then we roll it down, lower back, middle back, upper back, release, arms overhead. Shake it out. Hugging that right knee into your chest, take the leg long to the ceiling and just floating the left leg, just hovering an inch over the mat. So lift up out of head, neck, and shoulder. Really hug leg into thigh and then switching legs for 20. 19, 18, 17, taking your gaze into your belly, breathe into these last 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 more. Legs are really long, really strong. 8, 7, 6, 5, really hug it in for these last 4. See if you can lift up 2 more inches, you guys, for 3, 2, last one, each leg. Yes. And just drop knees, let your head, neck, and shoulder rest. And gazing over that right shoulder, release. Taking legs straight up to the ceiling, heels together, toes apart. Resting your head in your hands. So we're lifting up, and then you're gonna drop legs down about 45 degrees. Take the right leg over the left, left over the right. Keep your gaze into your belly, and then take leg down 2 inches, lift legs up 2 inches. Breathe. Or just keep them right there at that 45-degree angle, because
You're gonna feel that, as is. Drop it down, stay with me, 3 more. 2. Last one. Hug it in, reach for the feet, reach arms overhead, but try to keep heels together, toes apart. Breathe. Is my back the only one doing it? This is where I always say, like, we get out of our own way. 3 more. 2. Last one. Relax. Grabbing outer edges of coming into a happy baby. Slow it down. Grab that right big toe, holding onto the outer edge of that left foot, and then just open that right leg to the side. Try to anchor that left sit bone to the mat so you're keeping even weight there. And just open that leg up a little more. Hugging that right leg in, grabbing that left big toe, open that left leg out to the side. And almost like you're stretching legs in opposition. Rolling over to your right side body. So body's really long, your head, hips, and heels in one long plane. So take heels together, toes apart here. So that Pilates stance. Rest your head in your hands. And we're strong through our center, almost as if you have a little space between your side body and the mat, so you really engage abdominals. Float those legs, tiny little heel taps here. For 20, just tapping those heels together. 19, 18. It gets so spicy in here, right? Okay, Grand Wailea. Stay with the breath. 15 more. 14 little tiny taps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Soften into your breath. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold that bottom leg lifted, and you're just peeling that top leg high. You point to lift, flex to lower, squeeze heels at the bottom for 10. 9, 8, 7. Try to soften your face. Stay strong in your body. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold that top leg, little circles forward. Now the size of a quarter. So really small, slow and controlled. 5 more this direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that left leg, drop it over that bottom leg. Bottom leg, strengthen really strong. Point the toes and then float it as high as it can go. Little tiny pulses up an inch and down an inch right there. Float left arm high to the ceiling. 18 more. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Get deep into that inner thigh right there. 10 more. 9, 8. Bring all of your energy, all your focus there, because what we focus on grows. And just feel the difference when you bring all your energy there. 5 more. 4, woo, feel the difference. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Slowly coming over on your left side body. Take legs really long, head, hips, and heels in one long plane. Heels together, toes apart. And we lift, float those legs, tiny little heel taps for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Stay with your breath. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Try to keep that bottom leg there. Take that top leg high, float to lift, flex to lower, squeeze heels at the bottom for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more, point to lift, flex to lower, squeeze heels at the bottom. 3, 2, on the last one, hold that bottom leg lifting, little circles with that top leg for 10. 9, 8, 7, try to slow it down, slow breath down, make that circle even more intentional. 5 more, 4, point those toes, 3, 2, 1, hold reverse for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 more, 4, 3, 2, on the last one, take that top leg, drop it over in a 90-degree angle, and then we float that bottom leg, lift it up, highest point, little pulses for 20, 19, 18, 17. Now I can say like we're almost done. We're gonna finish this. People always like to know. And then I'm gonna bring you up. We're gonna do some standing arms. We're gonna take a little deep stretch. Sometimes I throw in a planking series, and then we're gonna settle in. Stay with me, 10 more. 9, because now you feel like you can get there, right? 8, because you're like, where are we going? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. We're gonna press it back, pedal it out. And then slowly walk your hands to meet your feet. See if you can keep palms as flat as you can. Take little tiny baby steps. And then slowly just meet those palms to your feet, grabbing those big toes with your pointer and middle finger. And then deep bend in knees and elbows out to the side first. And then stretch legs long and just folding into your thighs. Soft bend in those knees, slowly rolling up bone by bone. Standing nice and tall. And I'm gonna face you here. So arms are really, really long. We're gonna flip palms up, and then as we toss back, like we have a little ball in our hands, and we're just throwing that baby back. And get deep into the triceps as you extend it back and toss it back. Soft little bend in knees, and going deep into the core here. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold arms back, palms facing away from the body. They're out to this diagonal. Little pulses, pinky fingers to the ceiling. Just check wrists. Wrists are straight, fingers long. Sculpting little muscles we didn't even know that we had. And then relax shoulders down your back. Stretch arms even longer. Little pulses. Hold it at the top. Tiny little pulses at that highest point for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. You're gonna hinge hips forward, take arms forward, squat it back, and then squat arms back, toss that ball now up to that ceiling. Get deep into those triceps as the arms go back and you toss that ball. And we're taking all of our weight in our heels, so just float toes up to the ceiling. Making sure we're just shifting our weight. Stay with me. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Stay hinging forward, arms press back, open out to a diagonal, little circles. Strong legs. Mindful core, little circles here. 5 more. 4,
3. These are the ones when people like watch you do them and they're like, what is she doing? And then you're like, honey, don't trust me, try me. And then your arms are the most sculpted they've ever been in your whole life. And you're like, 5 more. Did we reverse or did I reverse because I was talking and no one else did? Reverse if you haven't. 5 more. Stay with me. I know. 4, 3. When you want to crunch up your face and bring all the tension, soften. Stand. Arms are long, little circles. Tiny little circles. Slowing that breath down, reversing those circles. And then we take arms forward, palms up, arms back. So hitting those arms from every little angle. As you flip palms back, really pressing arms like you're reaching palms to the ceiling. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, give me 1 more, and then we're just gonna hold those arms. Stand tall, open shoulders, close your eyes. And we're just going to drop into our why. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves why we come back to our practice, why we stay consistent, why we move through all the resistance when life gets in the way and we decide we're not in the mood. And to just come back here, choose you through it all and know that no one else can do it but you. So breathe it in, come back to your why whenever you question yourself or maybe step away from your practice. There's always these moments to find our way back. Float those arms up, interlace fingers, flip palms. Feel the stretch, the same release that we started with. Feel the difference, the space you've created. Open arms, and they just wanna like float. And sometimes just let them dance. And then coming into a wide plie squat. Feet are externally rotated, long, tall spine. And then we sink deep inner thigh stretch, hands together. We're dropping down an inch, lifting up an inch. Small little movement for 10. 9, like you're pulsing down. Squeeze booty as you go down and up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Stay really low, arms really long. Float that right heel up an inch, and then that left. Dig deep, come back to that breath, yes. Stay with it, just 5 more. You can do it, we can all do it. We're so much stronger than we ever give ourselves credit for. So be with that strength. 3, 2, last one each side. And then float, ooh. Drop it down, release. Reaching arms. 1 more, and then we come back to that mat. Heel toe those feet together. Take it back, inhale. Arms up, dive it forward, and just walking out to a forearm plank. So coming down, pressing hands together, taking that right hip bone down to the mat, coming up through center, and the left for 10. 9, finishing nice and strong, you guys. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Open knees nice and wide. Sink your hips on your heels and really just melt. I want you to just let it go. And just slowly pressing it back into a downward facing dog. Float that right leg high, hugging your knee into your chest.
drop your foot shin and heel parallel to the mat. Back leg is really long, really strong. Sit up tall, open up that posture, and then surrender into that release. And just slowly pressing yourself back. Floating that right leg high. Take one more little stretch with that leg. Drop that right foot to the mat. Float the left leg high. Slowly hugging knee to chest, and then drop foot, shin and heel parallel to the mat. Sit up tall, and then you let it go. Any tension you're feeling, give just a tiny little rock and sway there, and just really breathe into that release. Anything you're holding. And just slowly sitting on that left sit bone, swinging that right leg around. Just sitting up nice and tall. Sit really comfortably, just grounding our palms on our thighs. Closing our eyes. Coming back to our breath. Breathing in all the shifts that you feel when you get yourself here. And really taking in the difference to how you feel before you start and after. And allowing this energy, this magic that movement does to us, to move through us with every single thing that we do. I know with everything inside of me that it has the power to transform us from the inside out, and not just for these results that we see in our body, but these transformational shifts that we experience in our mind. Taking hands to heart center, breathe it in, and exhale, let it go. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. And Grand Wailea for having us here and hosting us, and just being an amazing partner to share this space and this practice with you all. You can take any of my classes at melissawoodhealth.com. I always say I have something for everyone at every stage. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, pregnant, postnatal, there's something. This was spicy, but I could feel like you guys gave me that energy. So I always like to work off like the energy in the room, and you guys wanted it, so you got it.
That was one.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so happy you loved it. Thank you. It's so nice to move with an intimate group. It's like, it's such a gift.